So the first thing that I have for you is called the team page test. So write that down. And this sort of just happened naturally in my team page. What my coaches would start doing is they would post in our team page, oh my gosh, my neighbor is the most amazing woman. She is like a natural encourager. Every time I see her walking her kids, she's got 3 dogs and a stroller, and she's smiling and she's waving, and she'd be the most amazing coach because she's just a naturally engaging person and she's so amazing, and I don't know what to say to her. Crickets. What you say to her is exactly what you said to us. When you have that person, post in your team page and say, all right, this is why this person would be amazing, blah, 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 blah. Use it as an opportunity to get all that out, and then go tell that person and use that team page post as accountability. And then in the comments, show your team, I think all of these things about this person, and I'm bold enough and I'm committed enough to go tell them. At the very least, if they say no, you lifted their spirits, you encouraged them, you planted a seed. When you are talking to somebody who's a little bit warmer, so this doesn't necessarily work for cold people, but it works for people who are warm, either because you've been having conversations with them, they're your challenger, they're a not right now, or they're somebody who follows you. So even though you're not engaged in personal direct conversation, there's somebody that comments all the time or that you've developed a rapport with. Ask them the question after taking the team page test, is there anything about coaching that has interested you? Now, this kind of piggybacks off of something that I learned from Janelle many years ago, and many of you guys probably know it. It's have you ever considered doing what I do? And that's an awesome thing that has helped me build my team. And this was kind of an aha moment. One of Jamie's coaches, her name is Meredith, her husband is a doctor, and I believe he's a psychologist. And Jamie and Steve told me the story about how when he would be talking to his patients, he would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your day? And even in distress, even in the worst of times, they would usually answer 1 or 2 or 3. Very rarely would somebody answer 0. And to their surprise, he would respond with, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Your day was a 1. Your day was a 1. It wasn't a 0. So tell me, why was your day a 1 and not a 0? What was good about it? He found the good and used that to work with his patients. I kind of took that spin and added that to the have you ever considered doing what I do, and in conversation, building somebody up, letting them know why they're amazing, and then asking them, hey, by the way, is there anything about what I do that interests you? Is there anything about coaching or posting on social media or being an influencer or being a blogger or being a fitness professional that interests you? They might share that 1. Not the 0, but the 1 or the 2 or the 3. They may not be a 10, but there's something that has interested them enough to say, well, yeah, actually, and what happens is when you ask open-ended questions like that, especially because I know a lot of times we struggle with, well, what part of this business do I share with people? When you ask an open-ended question like this, and not a yes or no question or assuming what they might want to know about the business, you can then cater it and say, girl, don't you worry. You don't have to sell anything. Your coach account, there's no requirements, there's no quota, there's no contract, there's no cancellation fee. You don't have to post selfies. You can do it your way. You don't have to be perfect. So they give you that little something that has interested them. And then you build off of that and you cater the conversation to their needs. So the third thing, this is kind of like a mic drop eye opener for me, because I have been in a place where I felt like, man, my team just isn't getting it. And so there must be something wrong with me. And how can I bring on new people when they're not getting it, or they're stuck, or there's something that's happening that's causing them to not get it? How can I bring on new people in that place? And then I thought about it and I asked myself, well, what if my coach never invited me or posted on social media consistently because they were waiting for their existing coaches to get it? What if your coach didn't post that call to action or that selfie or send you that message or do that follow-up or pour that belief into you because all of their energy was focused on the people who were talking and not walking, or not ready yet, or not in the right place in their life, or not really all the way in, or still working on themselves? And I'm gonna give you some tools today to still work with those people so you can confidently do both at the same time. But what if that happened? What if everything that Beachbody has given you, your life, the opportunity, your family, your passion, all of those things, your income, your purpose, what if that was never offered to you because they were so focused on their team? You are keeping this opportunity away from people because of other coaches on your team who don't see the vision. And when I looked at it that way, and I hope that struck a chord with you, suddenly I'm like, oh my goodness, I have an obligation to still go out there. The next tip is to boldly recommend the coaching opportunity to your challengers as the upsell. So very often what we do is at the end of a challenge group, if someone loves Shakeology, if they're like, I want to keep going, I've got goals, I got more weight to lose, I love this, what we do is we take the next baby step, right? And we say, okay, well, you could become a discount coach and you could save 25% off your Shakeology, and this is a no-brainer. You should totally do it. There's no quota. And we don't go that extra step and share the coaching opportunity. What I think about in different situations that I've been in, when I'm offered two options, when someone gives me the option 2 or 3 steps away from where I currently am, I tend to be more confident landing closer to where I am. So if I was to say to somebody, oh my gosh, you are amazing, I don't know if this is something that you've ever considered, but you'd be an incredible coach. These are the reasons why. I want you as an apprentice coach running my challenge groups with me next month. What do you think? And you'll also get a discount on Shakeology. They might say, I don't know about that, but I would love a discount on Shakeology. If you never present the opportunity until your discount coach is ready, you're probably gonna miss some opportunities, shoot for the moon, and you'll land among the stars in this situation. I know a lot of you guys are probably fitness instructors or you've taken fitness classes, and one thing that I learned about fitness instructors is that you have to do the movements 200%, 500% bigger than the rest of the class, because if you're doing tuck jumps and you're getting 6 feet off the ground, then your class is going to do tuck jumps that are 3 feet off the ground. But if you do them 3 feet off the ground, they're only gonna go a foot off the ground. And so it's a very similar thing where you have to be you times 2. You have to go for it and you have to say, this is where I see you, but if you wanna start here, that's cool too. My next tip, it is not quality over quantity. It is quality in quantity. And it's very important what we teach our team and what we tell ourselves, because we don't even realize how subconsciously it impacts us. I think that for the most part, I would assume that all of us love helping people, and the last thing that we would ever want is to make people feel like they're part of a cattle call, that they're just a number, that they're just 2 points, that they're just somebody to solidify rank. And I think in being so against the numbers game and people being a number, that we forget that we can help a lot of people with a lot of heart. And so what I would encourage you to do is, instead of thinking about quality over quantity, let's think about quality in quantity and what that will do, because what's going to happen in your business and your income and your impact and your influence is that instead of just adding, you're going to start multiplying. And once you have a ton of quality people, they're going to start coaching each other. The team culture in your challenge groups and your team pages are going to just be totally magnified because of the quality that you're bringing on. Now, it's obviously important when that happens to make sure that you have systems in place that are going to support those people, but do it big. I mean, find what's right for you. And I think they talk about this in yoga. Find your truth. Find the edge for you. because it's going to be different for all of us because we have different skill sets, we have different capacities, we have different schedules, we have different social media reaches, we have different ways to coach. But find the place for you, just like in yoga, just like in your workout, where you are right on the edge of being a little bit uncomfortable and still honoring what is true to you. And that might change as life changes, but ask yourself, am I on the edge? Or am I really, really comfortable and not taking action? I'm just gonna wait for people to come to me. The next tip, this is a huge one that I had a major aha moment at the last Super Saturday in January, was have grace and patience with your coach's transformations. And when I say patience, that doesn't mean sit around and wait. So remember earlier when I had talked about bringing on new people, and what if your coach didn't invite you or didn't keep posting or didn't keep adding to their team because they were waiting for their team to do something? I had mentioned that I was going to talk about, well, what do we do with these people that are already on our team that aren't doing? Of course we want new amazing team builders, but I feel obligated to make sure these guys are successful before I even move on to new team builders. And so what's important, and I think the first step, is to have patience and to think about yourself in this journey, whether it was confidence or mindset or feeling bold enough to share your truth vulnerably on social media or in your abilities to coach and sponsor people and run challenge groups. I think back, and I know you can think about that time. At some point, you may be in it right now where you're like, I know that's the right way to think. I know that's the right way to act. I just can't, I don't get it yet. I'm trying my best. I'm in my stuff. Life is crazy. And sometimes it's not an excuse. Sometimes it takes time to learn. It takes time. You've got to be in the valley to figure stuff out. And your coaches, although very often we hear a lot of excuses and we hear a lot of reasons why not, and maybe in many situations they don't really want it, and that is lip service, and they have to figure that out on their own. But in many cases, your coaches are really trying hard, and you just got to give them grace, and you got to give them patience, and you can love them and support them and be there for them without sitting around and waiting for them. Show them where you're going, show them who you're attracting, show them what the team is like. This is the way that I think about the way that I engage with new coaches and existing coaches. And so I think about it like a track. And each lap is 400 meters. So we're at the starting line each month, and that could be a free group, that could be a challenge group, that could be a coach mentorship group or a coach basics group or a push to emerald or a push to diamond. And what happens is I like to advertise. I have all of my personally sponsored coaches in one page, like many of you guys. And so I advertise these groups, and I say, all right, who's in? Who's in from my challenge group? Who wants to invite? Who wants to do this? Who wants to do that? And we're at the starting line with both new coaches, re-engaged coaches, and veteran coaches. And we're at that starting line no matter when we signed up, no matter where we are. And we take off, and that month we run a 400 lap. And what happens? In the process of running that 400, people are seeing us. They're on the sidelines. We're posting about our results. We're making changes, both in the team, in our challenge group, and on our social media, because we are living out our growth out loud on social media, in videos, in photos, in posts. What ends up happening is they want to join us. And by the time we get to that finish line, we're at that starting line again. And new coaches and old coaches and new challengers and veteran challengers can join us. And so that has helped me mentally say, I can keep building my team because it's the same thing every single month. And diamond coaches should not be inviting differently once they hit diamond or star diamond. It's the same stuff. It's the same vital behaviors. It's the same challenge groups. It's the same products. What helps people get to elite and star diamond and a rock solid rank is consistently doing those 400s and doing those laps and showing your truth and sharing with people, hey, when you're ready, I'll be here. Meet me at the starting line. I will catch you when I cross that finish line. I want to finish up really quickly with talking about objections and fear of rejection, because that's something for me, and I think for many of you guys, that's just like, well, duh, of course I would invite all these people, but I'm terrified of what they're going to say. And I've always taken the posture that I'm going to use my objections, I'm going to use the haters, I'm going to use the doubt, I'm going to use my coworkers, and that one person that I'm like really nervous about them seeing a certain post on social media, or the people who doubt me. All of those people in my life and in your life, those are high stakes. That is a reason to never give up. That is a reason to make it work. When people say you can't do it, I say actually I can. And every time I want to skip my power hour, every single time I think to myself, well, like, am I really helping people? I don't know, just the doubt. And I think especially in the beginning, we think to ourselves, like, is this a pyramid scheme? Is Shakeology helping people? Is this company too big? Every single time I get an objection, especially if I don't know how to answer it, it has made me a better coach because I go out and I find the answer. So, very common one, if somebody says, well, I just don't want to sell anything, or this is a pyramid scheme, what ends up happening is Google what a pyramid scheme is. That's an incredible learning opportunity for you. And then in Googling what a pyramid scheme is, I found an amazing FTC article that explains the difference between a network marketing company and a pyramid scheme. And now I am rooted in confidence because of that objection. And so you are never going to get to the place where you just study everything that you could possibly say. You've got to be in the trenches. You've got to start the conversation, start the invite, be bold, tell people why they'd be amazing. Ask them, is there something that interests you about what I do? Because you would be freaking amazing. You would be my dream coach. What's stopping you? What are you afraid of? In those conversations, they may not sign up, but you might find out along the way what people think about Beachbody from the outside, what you have to tweak about your messaging in your coach opportunity posts, in your sneak peek groups, in your webinars, in your live videos, talking about what we do. You'll never figure out what people are thinking and why they're not signing up. Reading a book. You've got to go and you have to have those conversations. Have them respectfully. Don't worry about convincing people. Honor others' feelings and then take notes and learn from those experiences. And then finally, what happens when you say no? I just boldly invited this girl who's amazing. Like, she's a blogger. I know her from real life. She's a spin instructor. And I was just like, listen, you are amazing. I would kill for you to be on my team. Have you ever considered doing what I do? I wanted to throw up, and she said no. She's like, no, I'm good. We have a great income at home. I'm not into sales. This is just something that, that I don't ever want to do. But thank you so much for saying such nice things. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to run away. It was really intense. But what's really cool about that is that's also solidified in me. I've got to live the reason why that was a bad idea. Like, I've got to show her every single day. Everything, the freedom, the fun, the accountability, the growth, the fact that I'm on this journey because of this opportunity, surrounded by the most amazing people in my social media every single freaking day. I've got to be sharing in some way why her saying no was the dumbest decision she's ever made. And in doing that and positioning yourself and living the invite. When somebody says no, live the invite out. I guarantee you, those people are gonna come around in a week, in a month, in 6 months, in 3 years. It's going to happen. You guys have got to go out and invite to the opportunity. You've got to be inviting to the opportunity every single day. That needs to be part of your 4 vital behaviors. I guess consider it the 5th vital behavior.